You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony, broadcasting from the Natural Green Lawn and Landscape Studios. We're brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American Family Insurance agent, Kim believes that there's much more to insurance than the policy itself. It's about providing you with dependable protection and services. Kim believes that trust and credibility can't be demanded. It can only be earned by what you say and what you do. Give Kim a call at 651-482-1598 and tell her you heard it here on Where You Live. It's time now for a message from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all of your home and business maintenance needs. Call Start to Finish at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
When you rent out your home, you automatically become a small business owner and are subject to all kinds of rules and regulations. Fair housing laws, rental licensing, CRPs, lead paint, radon, carbon dioxide, just to name a few. As someone who provides rental housing, you'll have to learn more about your community, your city council, and your law enforcement agencies than you ever imagined. But if you properly manage your business, you'll also become an important and positive partner in the community. The Minnesota Multi-Housing Association is the most comprehensive resource you'll find for everything you need to help you successfully manage your rental business. Visit mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com. Look around the website, download the free guide to successful property management, download the free brochure about the eviction process, and learn about the many ways you can turn your small business into a good business.
So we're talking about this story out of Philadelphia where IBEW Local 98 is staging a protest across the street from an apartment building where they did not win an electrical contract.
That's right.
So they're broadcasting over loudspeakers a message: your community is crying for jobs, and we're for fair wages and participation. And then a baby crying. And they've been doing this Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to mid-afternoon, making the residents crazy at this apartment building.
And some of the people, some of the residents there, they said they just don't even seem to care. One was quoted as saying, "We approached them nicely on the first day." Yeah. And they just ignored us.
That's right. I don't see how this can possibly be legal. Like you said, it's a form of bullying.
Yes, it is.
Have you ever lost a bid for a contract, Gene?
All the time, but I can't imagine.
Did you then sit and call that person 100 times a day on the phone saying I'm unhappy, or crying like a baby and saying I'm unhappy I lost this contract?
It would. I would think you'd be locked up.
I think you would. Well, in fact, I think if you use a phone, you could be accused of harassment. But apparently, that's not the case here, where they're out on the street with a loudspeaker.
And this is what's interesting. The person who was the union boss, John Doherty, he said, "Hey, I'm well within my law. I'm not apologizing for anything." And, there is a difference between the spirit and the letter of the law.
Sure.
He may be following the letter of the law, but he is doing something to intimidate, pure and simple.
And it's punitive. I got to say, this is the negative stereotype of union workers that many people hold, and that is
at its worst,
that they're bullies. They force people to acquiesce to them. They use means, legal and illegal, to do that, and they're underhanded. Also, that they artificially force up costs when the economy does not warrant it. I just think, I can't believe they can't see what a bad PR stance
this is bullying tactics. I mean, the thought that came to my mind when hearing about this guy said, "I'm within the law." Okay, it might state in local ordinances that the noise,
during
level
the day,
has to be at a certain level,
like 85 or less.
So it's so many decibels, and he's right below it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, this is like my
that's the letter of the law.
Like my older sister who'd sit next to me when we're watching TV, and I'd say, "Stop touching me," and she's real close, within an inch of my
Holding
face.
her hand.
"I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you."
That's what this
and
guy's
it bugs you. And so here's this guy. I'm not harassing. I'm not harassing.
That's right.
But yes, you are.
Now it seems that the city nor the police department has been able to do anything about this. But I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Let's say this was a teenager with a boombox standing across the street, broadcasting rap music 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday. Do you think the police might respond to a call about that?
But several, like there's several IBEW workers. So you have a group.
Let's say we have 10 of them.
No, a group of young men.
There you go.
A group of young men playing boombox loud.
Yep.
Yes. You tell me the police would not ask them to move along?
I think they absolutely would.
But
tell that group of young people they'd have to move along.
These people are not bullying. They're within the letter of the law.
They get a big raspberry from me.
Yeah.
The IBEW Local 98. What a terrible, terrible display of I don't know what.
It's under this guise of the First Amendment,
and also that we're helping workers, we're helping provide jobs, we're helping,
this idea of it being freedom of speech. No, this is just a bullying act that's shrouded under trying to look like the
altruistic,
a free speech. Yeah. Because as we know from the past, you have free speech, but free speech, as Chief Justice Holmes said, you can't yell fire in a theater, right?
There you go.
There are some limits, and here this is something that is not being done in public to get a nice, lively debate. This is out after one person and one person alone.
I was just going to say, these people are not trying to shut them up, trying to shut up their message. No one's trying to prevent them from delivering a message about how their opinion. It's the method of delivery that's wrong.
Yeah,
they get to say what they feel. They get to say what they think. No one's telling them they can't. They're just saying you can't broadcast it 8 hours a day. At our building.
And I mean, how is this any different than how about years ago there was a neo-Nazi group that wanted to have a parade in a town where there was a large Jewish population.
That's right.
And they were saying they were doing it for just for freedom of speech.
Sure.
No, it was bullying. It was harassment, pure and simple. Yeah. And we can see that there, but you can't. But people think that this is free speech. This is not the best of the union at all. And if they can,
this is not the best use of our constitutional rights, is it?
If they continue on, they're going to find less and less people in support of them this kind of action taking place.
That's right.
Well, we've got a few more minutes. We've got time for one more story here. Let's cover this. This is an interesting one. It's in California, Tony. The state of California has a new fire prevention fee. Homeowners in California will be expecting a new bill in their mailbox this next year. The California legislature has passed a controversial new fire prevention fee, which will aim to help defray the state's costs for fire prevention services. They're saying that the cost for firefighters has gone up, and so now we're going to. It's not a tax. No, it's a fee, and it's a fee for something that we all agree on.
Yeah, and we know that a fee is a tax, is a fee. It's the same. But the difference here is that it's a fee. It's called a fee, I think, because it only applies to the people who need this service. Mm-hmm. So it's like in a homeowners association. If you're getting services from the association, you pay a monthly fee. The state of California has to provide fire control in certain areas of the state that aren't covered by a city or by other services. And so those people who own residences in those areas are going to have to pay an extra tax, an extra fee in order to get the service they want. Mm-hmm. Right?
And I'm all for people choose to live where they do, in a municipality, in a town, in the outskirts of town,
up in the foothills.
Uh-huh. And because of that, they are saying, I'm willing to accept or not accept the services that are available or not available. When my family bought a home on Medicine Lake, years ago in the 60s, there was no city water and sewer.
Oh, okay.
So you had to have
a well.
You had to have a septic service.
Yep.
Fire service was not as quick as it is in the city.
Sure.
You had to understand.
Might have even been volunteer fire service at that time.
And what I don't like here is that what has happened here, you have legislators who can disingenuously turn to their constituents and say, we didn't raise taxes on you at all.
Yeah.
You're not going to see a raise in the state income tax. However, there's going to be a fee. And here's another fee.
That's right. Property taxes didn't go up.
Yes.
But here's a fee, there's a fee, everywhere's a fee.
Yeah, and it is, again, it's a disingenuous way of dealing with things instead of being able to make the hard decisions that need to be made by any government, and that is, yes, people expect services. People expect services in an HOA, but I can tell you, year after year after year, those people work hard at trying to get the most bang for the buck.
That's right.
And still holding the costs down because they don't see this as something that's unending and can continue to rise.
That's right.
Well, hey, that's all the time we've got for today's show. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of the weekend, everybody. We look forward to seeing you here next Saturday on Where You Live.
Take care now. Bye-bye then.
I have been chosen. Farewell, my friend. I go on to a better place.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.